Yeah, we have missed football. The good news, it is indeed back. And an entertaining first half from Spartan Stadium with Michigan State holding a 20-14 advantage, and they will receive the kick to begin the third quarter. Elise Smineker caught up with both coaches during the break. Elise, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Brandon, well, if you're Michigan State, you probably don't want to hear that Utah State head coach Matt Wells says that they have the Spartans right where they want them. You know, I talked to Mark D'Antonio about his team and defense in particular. He says, first of all, we have to make a stop on 1st and 15, and to combat that up-tempo offense, well, they need to stay fresh, and that's exactly what I heard in the defensive huddle before the end of the half, that they have to stay fresh and they can't get tired. As for Utah State, Matt Wells told me that he likes the play of his quarterback, Jordan Love. He's calm and composed, and Glenn, you had mentioned the run game and their defense in particular. Well, Wells told me that he likes the way they're running the ball, and they have to keep stopping the run. They have to keep the ball behind the chains.
And again, stopping the run last year for Utah State was a big-time problem. It hasn't been much of an issue tonight.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned there at halftime, I really believe the number one thing that Mark D'Antonio and the offensive coaches, Dave Warner, the coordinator, will be upset about and scratching their head is, why aren't we running the football better? Utah State struggled last year and should be a strength with the offensive line and the running backs, and they got the passing game going for Michigan State. You should be running the football better. Now, to stay fresh against the high-tempo offense, the way to do it is 3 and out. You get a couple 3 and outs, and then all of a sudden that thing's not working, you know, for Utah State. But when they can get those long drives at the speed they are without making any substitutions, man, it wears that defense down awful quickly.
The running issues, did it seem to be more because of the guys up front, or was it an L.J. Scott issue?
No, I think it's the guys up front, and you know, they struggled in pass protection, and you know, they're just not getting the holes there because L.J. Scott, what I could see, he's hitting the right hole, he's running hard, he's protecting the football, but you know, it's not always the running back that makes good running attacks. You need both. You need a good running back and you need a good offensive line.
That one taken right around the goal line by Connor Hayward. He's in a little bit of trouble. The son of Craig Ironhead Hayward. Shades of the power of his father there as he's finally taken down around the 18 or 19-yard line.
Well, he let the ball hit the ground, and then I don't know if he didn't think it was going to go in the end zone by the pylon. And you know, once you make a decision, you're going to field the ball, then you better get going north or south, or you got big problems.
The ball made a left turn. I think for a second he thought it may go out, and then he realized he had to pick it up. Mark D'Antonio having a word with him.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark said, why didn't you just let it go in the end zone? And his response was, I wasn't sure it was going to go in, you know, or out of bounds. If it goes out of bounds, that's even better.
Started out in I formation. First play from the line of scrimmage in the third quarter. And it is L.J. Scott, but just not much there. 3 yards, 2nd, 7.
Yeah, you know what you need to do when you're running the football, and 3 yards at a minimum. You know, if you start getting 4 or 5 yards on first down, now the formula is working for you. But you can only get, you know, 3 yards right at 3, and now you got 2nd and 7. You know, do you run the ball again and then get into the real short, or do you have to throw the football here? That's why you like to get a little bit more. It's been tough sledding them running the football consistently tonight.
Well, last year coming into the season, they had a trio of backs. Gerald Holmes, who graduated, Mondre London, now at Tennessee. This year, it's all about L.J. Scott. Lewerke buys some time. Incomplete. Darrell Stewart went up the ladder, could not haul it in front of the safety, Shaq Bond.
Well, here we go again by Lewerke. It sets up, there's nothing there, and then he feels the pressure and he spins out. And you know, to me, that pass right there, yeah, he might have caught it, but Bond might have intercepted it. He threw that ball up for grabs, hoping or having the confidence that his receiver's going to come down with it. But you know, you can't do that too many times, especially on this end of the field right here.
Michigan State has converted their last 4 third-down attempts. 6 of 9 for the entire ball game. They need 7 yards. Lewerke. Can he get to the sticks? He can. He will. And then some. Well, there is what Brian Lewerke can do in the open field. 27-yard run.
Well, just like the piece that we showed with Lewerke. Boy, look at Cody White come back and make a key block. But just like the piece that we showed, the thing that Mark D'Antonio really likes about Brian Lewerke, you saw right there, he can take a nothing play, broken play, and turn it into a big play.
You're absolutely right about Cody White. Great block out there in the open field.
And it was a good, clean block. You know, I mean, you know, they're watching for those blind side blocks, and that wasn't it. He did a good job of just shielding them off.
Longest run for Michigan State tonight. We just saw it. Now Connor Hayward, his second carry of the ball game, and he takes it into Utah State territory to the 45. And they want him to be the sidekick of L.J. Scott. Connor Hayward, sophomore from Duluth, Georgia.
Connor Hayward, you talked about his dad, Ironhead. Hayward, I went in to try to recruit him out of Passaic High School in New Jersey, and couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the film. And lo and behold, when I was at Kent State, I had to play him when he was at Pittsburgh. You know, I didn't have offensive tackles that big.
And his brother Cameron, of course, all-pro D lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he's still out there to the left of Lewerke. And he gets it again. Churning those legs. First down to the 40.
He came with the unbalanced formation and then ran to the unbalanced side. Yeah, a little high with that snap. And he'll be telling Tyler Higbee, get that down a little bit.
He ran right into the chest of David Woodward, the linebacker, and drove him back a couple of yards.
6 foot, 229 pounds. Connor Hayward, strong.
This time Lewerke stops on the Spartan logo and airmails it well high of Darrell Stewart.
We used to call that America's blitz, where you take the linebacker off the slot receiver and you bring him on the blitz. Linebacker scrapes. He's wide open. Yeah, he slipped. And they had the right route called.
It's not often that you see regular grass, a regular grass surface, but that is still the case here for Michigan State.
Turf grass school, I love it.
41 yards this drive for Michigan State, all of them coming on the ground. And that one fell down into the hands of Luke Campbell. How about that? First reception of his career, in case you were wondering.
It might be the first and the last. Watch it right there. Good hands. Don't go down. He's saying, Coach, I told you I could be a tight end.
Big man with football.
I've never known a tackle in college football that didn't think he could play tight end. I can tell you that.
Luke Campbell makes it now 3rd and 5. He started 12 games last year at right tackle, starting tonight for the injured Cole Chewins at left tackle. They've converted their last 5 third downs, try to make it 6 in a row. Got it. First down. Just shy of the 20. Into the hands of Jalen Naylor. Now that is a true freshman and a guy they're very excited about. He gets 14 yards.
Yeah, you'll see right there. Does a good job pushing the receiver off, getting his hands off him. Comes back to the ball, looks it on in. Good looking player.
Well, amongst all those older wide receivers, Naylor, just the fact that he's able to wiggle his way into the rotation tells you something.
Tells you that he's good.
Yeah, he just had the first catch of his Michigan State career. And Hayward is lined up to take this snap. Connor Hayward. Flag comes in as he's tackled forward to the 21.
That's normally holding.
Holding offense for 62. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That was Luke Campbell, who just caught the ball a moment ago.
I told you I had good hands. I can catch the ball. I can hold. Easy for me to laugh, huh?
And now Lewerke comes back out, but a little wrinkle there with a direct snap to Hayward. Well, Campbell tonight has the 1 reception, and then he has 2 penalties. So a little good and a little bad.
Sometimes when you bring that wrinkle when you got things going, I don't like it. I mean, they had him going there. You know, just leave Lewerke in there at this point.
Backs him to 1st and 20. Empty backfield. Moving again out of the pocket. On the run. Stewart. Into the red zone. So they get that penalty yardage back and a few more on top of it.
How impressive has Brian Lewerke been when he has to use his feet to get free? On the run, he puts the ball right on the money. I like how the receiver, look at, fights to stay up and try to get that extra yards. I love when guys play hard like this. You know what?
Darrell Stewart, now he's going to get a breather, but he had the 50 receptions last year. And you said it, excellent job just staying up for a couple extra. It's Hayward still in the backfield. And Connor Hayward with some space. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Connor Hayward. First rushing touchdown of his Michigan State career.
You like that misdirection play? Huh? Do you have the feeling that Coach D'Antoni had a little heart-to-heart talk with that offense at halftime? And Coach Wells tell Elise, we got it right where we want him? Not so fast.
And Connor Hayward stepping in for that series and doing a nice job. 58 yards on that drive, all on the ground for the Spartans. Michigan State at one point was down 14-13. Now up 27-14. And the first half, 36 rushing yards. That last drive alone, 58.
Yeah, to be honest, one of the big yardage gains was the scramble, the broken play by Lewerke. But as we talked about at halftime, I promise you, Mark D'Antonio said, we got to start running the football. That's our game plan.
Looked good doing it that drive. The last 3 drives, all touchdowns for Michigan State.
Now here's where the whole game has a chance to turn around. I mean, they've done a good job offensively to start the second half, but if the defense can go out there and get a 3-and-out versus this high-tempo offense, that's what you want.
Mike Tressel, first game operating as a solo defensive coordinator after being with Harlan Barnett, excuse me, all those years. But Barnett now with Willie Taggart at Florida State. So how will Mike Tressel's defense handle this as Jordan Love sets and fires and almost intercepted? Kari Willis, who had a pick earlier, nearly had number 2.
That goes into the category of your sparring coach. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on, Kari, you're a senior. You got to make that play. That busts the whole game open.
He couldn't believe it. Underneath, Gerald Bright out of the backfield with a reception. 3rd down and 2.
Impressive how Utah State throws those swing passes. And Jordan Love always gets the ball out in front of him, so they're catching it downhill.
And here they go. They like to go as fast as they can. First down grab, 3rd reception of the night for Dax Raymond. Right back to it. (16-24) for Love. completion percentage, which was under 55% last year. I said they wanted above 60. Right back to Dax Raymond for his 17th pass completion of the night.
Mike Tressel came with the blitz, putting the linebackers through the inside, which they don't do very often. Jordan Love saw it, pull up the ball on the perimeter, and credit the Spartans for rallying out there.
Nice tackle by Andrew Dowell. Of course, his brother David Dowell, who's a twin, is also out there on defense for Michigan State. Some pressure up the middle, and Love threw it into the back of Sean Taylor on the offensive line. Jacob Slade for Michigan State was approaching in a hurry.
He was chomping at the bit to get that quarterback. Big down.
And Slade's a guy who was low on their two deep. He's trying to prove that he's worth his while out there. Plays like that'll help. 3rd and 7. Taking their time here. Here comes pressure. Jump ball incomplete. Jordan Nathan in the intended target. Kari Willis on the coverage.
As you mentioned, they came with the pressure. You're only going to get 1 or 2 routes on the outside when you got press coverage. You're going to get the slant or the fade.
Taylor hits in the punch. Cody White back to receive.
And now on 4th and 7, Taylor Heinze will boot it away for the Aggies. Cody White coming up, and that one is going to hit right around the sideline. Second half so far, all Spartans. Michigan State trying to seize control of the game that they trailed early and midway through the second quarter, but now 27-14, and they will get the ball back.
You see those Michigan State cheerleaders, I can't help but keep looking for Brooke Allen, Tim Allen's daughter. She's one of the cheerleaders here.
One of your good buddies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's a great one.
Handoff inside. L.J. Scott returning to the field after Connor Hayward was out there the last series. 3 yards that time for Scott.
Chase Christiansen on the tackle. 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 6.
Over 2,600 career rushing yards, but no season over 1,000. Hoping to change that this year. 14 for 42 this evening. And a shoe problem. Popped in front. Now, ball almost got stripped. That was Larice Nelson. First action that he's seen. It'll go for 5 yards.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate the running attack. You see it right here, and they almost got it out. A little late hit out of bounds.
No call. That was Baron Gaikowski, though, nearly jarring that ball free.
3rd and short.
See what they dial up. Well, first they're going to dial up some flags. It's against the offense. Ball start.
Ball start. Offense for 59. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's the guard, David Beadle.
Well, you'll see it right. You'll see right 59. He just moved just a little bit. You know, the bad thing about it, you don't have to move a lot. Just a little bit, and they get you.
And because of that penalty, backs him up. Now 3rd and 7. Lewerke, he started to lose his feet as he went forward to the 30-yard line.
He had the same problem right there. That right tackle just could not handle that speed rush.
And maybe Lewerke cramping a little bit as he was trying to stretch out, now walking gingerly to the sideline. A visit with the athletic training staff. Jordan Nathan back deep. Jake Hartbarger gets the right leg into it. And it went out of bounds. A little over 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Utah State trying to hang around. Tuesday, Troy Johnson and Jenny Dell, they are back. Another season of Campus Eats. They show you some of the best brunch spots around the Big Ten. Catching all new Campus Eats. Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on BTN. Ryan Lewerke still trying to stay hydrated. We saw him cramping up a little bit. As we were going to the break, he was sucking down a couple of those gel packs just to try to get some energy and keep away and keep hydrated.
Yeah, the problem is you get those cramps, you relieve them, and you go back out. A lot of times they come right back on you.
So they will continue to work with him on the sideline as Utah State completes it to Aaron Vaughns, and he is into Michigan State territory. Pickup of 13.
Quick little pass, wide open. Gaining too much on that play.
This time on the ground, nothing there. That stout rush defense taking down Darwin Thompson. Utah State so curious about that running game coming into this one. Matt Wells said that's the thing that he was wondering to see on the offensive side, because that's really the only starter they lost was Lawan Hunt, who was their go-to tailback a season ago. We've seen three in the backfield, Thompson, Bright, and Allen, surrounding Jordan Love tonight running the football. This time it's a play fake, and he dumps it for Darwin Thompson. Thompson able to evade one and step out for a first down.
Yeah, you saw a little dump swing pass, and Joe Bocci, the middle linebacker, running as hard as he could, just couldn't get there.
Here comes the pressure. And an incomplete pass. Kenny Willikis, that leader of the defensive end unit, making Love uncomfortable.
Yeah, he came to Michigan State as a walk-on football player, and he had 7 sacks a year ago.
He's a chemistry major, wants to work for the FBI someday. Well-rounded kid, Kenny Willikis from Rockford, Michigan. What an asset he's been. And he is breathing hard, as a lot of those Spartans have been tonight on the defensive side with that pace of Utah State. That one incomplete. Flag comes in. And Ronquavian Tarver maybe held a little bit, although certainly the Spartan faithful disagree.
Well, if he wasn't held, I don't know what the penalty would be. You'd have to think it was an uncatchable ball.
Holding. Defense. Number 2. It's 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, that's the battle we were watching in the first half. Justin Lane, the corner, against Tarver, their wide receiver.
Let's watch these two guys right here and see what happens.
Little hand on the hip on the back of the jersey.
He must have grabbed the jersey, which was hard to see at that angle. And
well, if you're a Utah State fan, you're saying absolutely held him. If you're a Spartan fan, you're saying, there wasn't much there. 4 minutes to go in the third. Love taken to the ground. And guess who? The man we just talked about, Kenny Willikis.
Yeah, Willikis coming up big in this series. A lot of pressure on Jordan Love, and he relentless from the backside, and Love goes to scramble out, and he stays after him. And Oh, don't jump there, Panasic. You can't jump. You know, they always tell those guys don't jump and cause the fumble. Jordan Love very luckily fell on it.
First sack of the night for Michigan State. And it sends the Aggies back 15 yards. This time Michigan State brings 4 over the middle to Thompson. And Thompson will get it to the 37, tackled by Joe Bocci.
Bocci had to run around the umpire right there in the middle, and umpire's lucky Bocci didn't run right through him. Dangerous being in there as an umpire.
Ooh, is it ever? Still 22 yards to go here on 3rd down.
Rolling on the field is completed catch. That plays under further review.
So we'll see if Darwin Thompson had the ball. It certainly appeared he did from the naked eye.
Replay has stopped the game to review potential targeting on the play.
Okay, so now it's announced that the booth, which they could do last year, wants to look at this for possible targeting.
A little confused. So was his first announcement wrong?
Yes. And they want to know if Joe Bocci should be called for targeting on that hit of Darwin Thompson. Helmet-to-helmet contact brings it into question.
Yeah, I know that, but I tell you, if you know anything about what is Joe Bocci supposed to do? I mean, it's not a defenseless player. It's a ball carrier.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. It is 3rd down.
Yeah, it's a good white ball.
Welcome back in, Mike Pereira. Do you agree with the call, Mike?
I certainly do. You know, to me, to stop it for the replay official to put on targeting, it really has to be a flagrant hit. The coach is right. He really kind of turns his head away from that. So it's not the type of call that you would want to make from the replay booth. I think he made a right decision in picking up his own flag, so to speak.
And so it stays as a 3-yard gain, no penalty, 3rd and 22. Once again to Darwin Thompson. But he won't make it down where he needs to the 20-yard line. And that will bring up a 4th and 8. 4th and 7. 4th and 7.
Yeah, I think Utah State in long yardage situation knows that Michigan State was going to protect the field. They just tried to get enough room to give this kid a chance at the field goal. And he's a good field goal kicker.
Dominic Eberle, 2017 All-American Lou Groza Award finalist. And he shows you why right there. No problem in enemy territory, making it a 10-point game. First time Utah State has scored in the 2nd half. Field goal by Dominic Eberle gives Utah State their first points of the 3rd quarter. Michigan State still up 10. All the expectations for Michigan State, so much different than last year at this time when they were coming off a 3-win season, now the 10-win season. And today on campus, you could just feel the energy.
Yeah, I think people a year ago had no idea, I'm talking about the fans, that they could rebound and win 10 games and have the type of season that they had after that disastrous year in 2016.
I asked Coach D'Antonio, I said, so now do you feel like, woo, we're back, we're doing okay? He said, you never have that feeling when you're the head coach of a football team. Connor Hayward, nice return. He had the rushing touchdown earlier. Brought down there near the 30. AP poll, take a look at what's going on this week. Told you all the teams around the Big Ten that are involved. Wisconsin doing battle right now with Western Kentucky.
Yeah, a couple good teams, good matchups. That Washington-Auburn game, I think, has a lot of people looking at it, not to mention the University of Michigan at Notre Dame Saturday night.
Boy, that will be a big one a little under 24 hours from now.
First and 10, Michigan State, the 31.
Lewerke had the cramping issues. Now he is back out there. 17 of 25. Sets to fire on first and 10. Intercepted. Gage Ferguson picked it. And Gage Ferguson takes it to the house. And the Aggies are right back in this football game.
Oh, man. That's why that man says you never say woo.
That's exactly right.
Here you go right here. He goes back and he's got good protection and he just throws the ball late. And the defender for Utah State makes a good break on the ball and the rest is history.
First interception in the career of the senior Gage Ferguson, and it is one that he will remember. EAT good. Don't change that dial. Utah State, they just scored 10 points in 14 seconds. And the margin is 3. Interception of the 40-yard return for Gage Ferguson. 27-24. And Lewerke, you were telling me during the break, just maybe a little late on that throw.
Yeah, when you get an interception like that, it's one of two things. Either you stare your receiver down or you throw it late. And you saw the receiver slip a little bit again, which prevents him from coming back toward the ball.
This time Darrell Stewart. He's going to return it instead of Hayward. And he'll take it out to the 31-yard line. So Hayward was not out there to return that. Elise, you have any intel as to why?
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now, and like Brian Lewerke, he too is cramping. He came off the field and immediately just laid down on the ground. Athletic trainers are with him now, and they're just rubbing his legs. They were doing the same thing with Lewerke. Both players just seem to have their legs cramping up right now.
It was a little warm earlier today in the mid-80s, and there is a dash of humidity as well. He's right beyond that wall as the athletic training staff works on it. Out of the I formation, a toss to Scott. 5 yards on the play to the 36, tackled by David Woodward.
As I mentioned before, if you're going to run on a first down, 3 yards, 4, 5 yards, 6 yards, man, that's exactly where you want to be. But that's a good play on first down for them.
But it hasn't been all roses tonight for Mark D'Antonio. This Utah State team out of the Mountain West, who's made a bowl game in 6 of the last 7 years. And they've got a good team to try to make it 7 of the last 8. Flag comes in as that one is incomplete. Marcus Ingram on the coverage of Felton Davis. Davis is still down. He's holding that right arm or shoulder, or left arm or shoulder, excuse me, with the right hand.
Delay game on the defense for disconcerting signal. 5-yard penalty will result in a first down.
And Matt Wells surprised at the call.
Well, you don't see that call very often, but what they're talking about is that they're simulating the snap count. Someone on defense is simulating the snap count of the offense.
Good news, Felton Davis up walking off. Let's see what happened. Maybe just fell hard on that left shoulder. Matt Wells still wants an explanation from Ron Snodgrass.
First down, Michigan State at the 41.
L.J. Scott. He'll take it to the 45. Yeah, Mike, that disconcerting signals, that's not one, like Coach said, that you hear that often.
No, you really don't. And usually when you do get it, the flag is thrown right away because it is a foul that shuts down the snap. But, you know, in college now you have the 8th official, and you still have your umpire in that position where he can actually hear what could really be defensive calls, but if it all simulates a snap count, they will shut it down and call a delay game.
They had the 5-yard penalty, then the 4-yard run. Now 2nd and 6. And Lewerke flag coming in. That's going to be interference. Darrell Stewart was pushed out of bounds by Deontay Fortenberry.
Pass interference, defense, number 27, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Fortenberry last year was a backup, and this year getting some more time, a senior from Oakland, California.
Yeah, you'll see those two guys right there, press coverage. He's running the fade route. You can turn and run with him, but you can't push him.
Up the gut. It's L.J. Scott again. And that 9-yard gain will take it to the 31 and take us to the end of the third quarter as L.J. Scott has a few words for the Aggies defense. We got a ball game with 15 minutes to go in East Lansing.